I hope that you can join me today in MRI Questionnaire video number 5, where I'll be discussing words 35 through 47.
Tune in as Interpret Your World's co-founder, Juan Prieto, talks about the highlights of his workday as a professional medical video remote interpreter. If you are aspiring to learn something new and gain insight into what the world of medical interpretation is really like, then you've come to the right place. Follow along as Juan talks not only about his success, but the daily challenges he has to overcome to become a better interpreter each and every day. This is Unwind Sessions with Juan Prieto.
So hello, and good morning, Alejandro. I can smell that coffee brewing, and so is our motivation to bring home that bacon. So let's get it. Let's start this day right. Today is Monday, September 20th, 2021. I took a total of 37 sessions today, one of which was audio, 2 of which were failed sessions. So I actually took 35 and 1 audio session. It was a pretty good day today. There were only 2 highlights, which I'll talk about in a moment. But remember that we are now posting vocabulary practice videos, just a single word for you to practice either English to Spanish or Spanish to English in TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Kawaii, and today we're gonna start posting Facebook Reels. So those are 4 platforms where you can get your vocabulary fix and test yourself. All right, so be sure to check it out. Be sure to leave a lot of comments, share to your friends, and drop us a like. All right, now that we got that out of the way, we are still accepting comments on MIP 21. Remember that when MIP 21 reaches 100 likes, we're gonna pick 2 people at random that commented on that video, and we are gonna send them exclusive links to MIP 22. Once they have those links, they're gonna get a chance to record their interpretations and send them over to us for feedback. We still have 42 likes on that video, so plenty of time. There is like, what is that, 58 likes to go, so get on that, guys. There's still plenty of time to go. And one more thing, remember that we have a Patreon page for as little as just $1 of your support. You help motivate us to create much more content, and we give you access to all of the medical practice videos on that page ad-free. Can you believe it? We also give you scripts, answer sheets, vocabulary lists, and much more content, and most importantly, you will forever win a place inside of our heart. All right, so let's get back to the video. What are the 2 highlights of the day? And now, believe it or not, this highlight comes from an MRI questionnaire. And this word that I'm about to tell you is a word that I had come across before. Now let me show you what word this is. This word is amalgams, or amalgam, single. Amalgamas is in Spanish. So amalgam, amalgamas. And they were talking about teeth. It was a mother who was going to be in the MRI room with her child right there. So she also has to get screened because she was going to be standing right next to her child, next to the MRI machine, right? So one of the questions was about dental work or any metal in the body. And the mother said, in Spanish, she said, no tengo ningún metal en mi cuerpo a excepción de amalgamas. To which amalgamas, I had heard this before, and I kind of had the idea what it was, and I kind of had the idea that it was the same. But of course I didn't go for it. I didn't go for it because it felt like I wasn't sure and I didn't want it to be a colchon situation. You know, if you're not familiar with what colchons is, that was my very first interpreting job, where I was a family interpreter between my dad and a salesman, a mattress salesman. So we got there. I have been in the United States for 2 months, and my dad just throws me there, and he wants me to interpret for this gentleman. And since I didn't know that much English, well, I couldn't do a good job, right? I didn't even know any English, let's say, or probably 5%. So then my father, which has a very bad temper, asked me, can you tell the gentleman, or can you tell me how to say mattress? Of course, I didn't know how to say mattress, and I told him I didn't. My dad, with his very bad temper, said, how do you know you've been going to school for such a long time and you don't know English and stuff? So I got worried. Worried, and I just said colchons, right? Because colchones in Spanish is mattress. So that is the first thing that just came out. Of course, you can imagine what happened afterwards. It was a bad interpretation, and I felt like that, the same exact feeling. I felt like if I said amalgams, I was gonna be in a colchon situation, which I didn't want to be at being a professional, you know. So what I said, I told the provider, let me go ahead and look that word up, because I am not sure. And then I looked it up, and then I said amalgam. And the provider just looked at me, and she didn't even know what I was talking about. And then the lady told her child, and then the child said, it's just like fillings, all right, teeth fillings. And then the provider was happy with that. She said, okay, that's great, that will not be a problem, blah blah blah. And then the rest of the session, all of the very hard technical words, which I already knew, and I got every single one of them, except for amalgams, right? But that was not on the list. This is something that the LEP said, so I'm a little bit excused, right? Kind of. So let's see, what is the definition for an amalgam? So a dental amalgam is a dental filling material used to fill cavities caused by tooth decay. Dental amalgam is a mixture of metals. That just, when I learned that, my brain was like, oh my god, you set this lady in with some metal in her teeth into an MRI machine. Well, next to an MRI machine. But hold on. Where is it? Dental amalgam is a mixture of metals consisting of liquid elemental mercury and a powder alloy composed of silver, tin, and copper. Approximately half, 50% of a dental amalgam is elemental mercury by weight. The chemical properties of elemental mercury allow it to react with and bind together with the silver, copper, tin alloy particles to form an amalgam. All right, so whenever I saw that thing metal, I felt very bad for the lady, and I thought something bad was gonna happen. But of course, this was just like 20 minutes ago while I was getting this thing, the script ready, right? So I had to look it up. I looked it up, and it says that there is a high risk with an amalgam filling and an MRI that it'll make the mercury, it'll release the mercury out of the amalgam into your system. So they said that this risk is only present with MRI machines that are the most powerful, and the low powered one, which is the ones that they use almost everywhere, that's what the article said, there is no problem. There have been studies done that there is no problem. Now, since this was a child, I'm guessing this was the low energy MRI, or low power MRI. Let's hope it was, and no harm was caused to that lady. All right, and now for the next highlight. So I don't know, there is a video that I've done before in the past called, if I am not mistaken, the pros and cons of OPI versus VRI. And let me tell you that there are two. There is one from my personal view, and there's another one from the client's view. Look at the personal view because I talk about this. Or was it from the client's view? No, I think this was from the client's view. I'm not sure. One of those videos. I'm sorry. But anyways, it talks about how hard it is to interpret for parties when they are out of the screen, right? Whenever they're out on the screen, you cannot see who is talking, so you will have a problem. So let me tell you what happened today. So I was at a rehab visit, and there was a man that was working some machines, you know, just treadmill, the hand bike, the what's it called? The stationary bike, and there was another one, but I don't remember which one it was. But anyways, so the gentleman is there sitting down doing exercises, and I could only see the gentleman, so the therapist was off of the screen. So there were two people. There was a therapist that took him to every machine, and then there was another therapist that like told him to which machine to go to. So all of a sudden, I hear the therapist that directs which machine people have to go to. And she was talking to my patient, right? And she was talking, and I was interpreting. The patient was answering. The lady kept on talking, and so on. And she would pause. And then every time she talked again, I would interpret again. And then so it goes on like that for like 4 minutes. I'm interpreting everything the lady's saying. The patient is answering. I'm interpreting everything the patient is answering. And then all of a sudden, I see this lady on screen. And then she tells me, "Oh, I'm sorry, interpreter, but I'm actually talking to a different patient, so there's no need to interpret." So I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. It's just that I couldn't see you on the screen. So I thought you were speaking to the patient in front of me, and he was answering. So I thought that was going on." And she said like, "Oh, no, don't worry." So we had a little laugh. And that had never happened before, or if it happened, then I never noticed. Because it's hard to tell who's talking, right, whenever they're off screen. So I just wanted to share that with you. That is one of the limitations, or one of the hard things about VRI, because even though you see them, once they're out of the screen, it gets a little tricky. All right, so that is it for the highlights today. Let's get started with words number 35 through 42 of this MRI questionnaire. All right, so for number 35 is going to be metal slivers, and the Spanish translation for it is fragmentos metálicos. So to be honest, I couldn't really find a definition for metal slivers, so I found slivers, and slivers means a small thin piece of something cut or split off of a larger piece. All right, so little pieces of metal, like metal shavings, right? But they are shavings can be considered slivers, right? And why do they ask this? Because think of a metal splinter, right? Like gets into your hand or into your eye, right? That could be a metal sliver, a splinter. And that was included in another definition that I found, that it could be a splinter of metal, wood, whatever. So, but this is only talking about metal, right? So anything that can chip off or come off the main piece, the main work that they're doing, and it can get lodged into you, or you can breathe it in case of metal dust, right, which is very dangerous. All kinds of stuff can happen whenever you're woodworking, whenever you're metal working, if you're grinding, if you're cutting, you know, if you've ever done it, if you've ever seen it, really hot pieces of metal from the friction and the cutting are gonna be jumping into you. That's why you need a security glasses, right? Because if not, one of those things could get into your eye, and then whenever you're not going to be able to get an MRI, because getting that thing out of there is very, very hard. So metal slivers or fragmentos metálicos, and they never ask this like this, but I decided to include it in case they ever do, you know, because I took this off of a sheet of an MRI questionnaire, so there's a probability that you might get it. But what do they ask for, remember, is have you or do you still work with, have you ever or do you still work with metal? And why metal cutting, metal grinding? Because of everything that I explained, right? All of those metal slivers can get into your body. Number 36, all right, cochlear implant, implante cochlear. So what is this? And I am pretty sure I have already defined this in another video. I said that I wasn't going to be repeating definitions, but this is MRI, and if you only see this video, I want you to get the most out of this video. So I'm going to be repeating some definitions from other videos, all right? A cochlear, well, not repeating, because I looked at other resources to give you better information, hopefully. A cochlear implant is a small electronic device that electrically stimulates the cochlear nerve for hearing. The implant has external and internal part. The external part sits behind the ear, so somewhere around here. It picks up sound with a microphone. It then processes the sound and transmits it to the internal part of the implant. The internal part is placed under the skin behind the ear during an outpatient surgery. A thin wire and a small electrode lead to the cochlea, which is part of the inner ear. The wire sends signal to the cochlear nerve, which sends sound information to the brain to produce a hearing sensation. Although normal hearing is not restored with appropriate therapy and practice, the improved hearing experience can mean an increased awareness of sounds in the environment, as well as better communication through easier lip reading and listening. So isn't that fascinating? Like, this definition, honestly, I found another definition, but then like it didn't really cover what I wanted, and then I found this one and I thought, wow, this is awesome. Like, it just tells you exactly everything it does, right? Not just what it is. And I mean, that's crazy, how we have come so far to be able to mimic, right, sound. Like, we can make a microphone that receives sound, and we can help it to mimic like the vibrations in the brain. That is just awesome. All right, number 37. This is something similar as well. Number 37 is a middle ear implant, implante del oído medio. So a middle ear implant is a hearing device that picks up sound with a sound processor, audio processor that sits on the head and converts the sound into mechanical stimulations of the ossicles of the middle ear. All right, so this one is kind of the same, but this one doesn't go to the cochlear nerve. This goes to the middle ear, and it converts the sound into vibrations to mimic that that reaction from the middle ear, right, that allows the patient to hear. So that is awesome. I mean, these things, these technological advances, they are awesome. Imagine where we're gonna be like in 100 years. Of course, we're not gonna be able to see all of that, but you can just imagine what we're gonna do. Or maybe we can't, right? We're advancing so much that maybe we can't even imagine what will be around in 100 years, right? Number 38, hearing aids. Hearing aids, aparatos auditivos. So what are hearing aids? A hearing aid is a small electronic device that you wear in or behind your ears. It makes some sounds louder that a person with hearing loss can listen, communicate, and participate more fully in daily activity. There's a mosquito that is, man, kicking my butt right now. I'm sorry. It makes some sounds louder so that a person with hearing loss can listen, communicate, and participate more fully in daily activities. A hearing aid can help people hear more in both quiet and noisy situations. However, only about 1 out of 5 people who would benefit from a hearing aid actually uses one. A hearing aid has 3 basic parts: a microphone, an amplifier, and a speaker. The hearing aid receives sounds through a microphone, which converts the sound waves to electrical signals and sends them to an amplifier. The amplifier increases the power of the signals and then sends them through the ear through a speaker. So that is basically what, if you are speaking into a microphone, well, that's basically how a phone call works, right? The basic mechanism, right? You have a speaker, which you go ahead and speak into it, and then it processes that signal, makes it an electrical signal, and then that electrical signal gets pushed through a speaker, which the speaker converts the electrical signal to air vibrations, which our ear can pick up, right? And that is but the only difference is that in a hearing aid, it actually makes the sound louder, right? In a phone call, it doesn't necessarily make the sound louder. You can turn the volume up and everything, but it doesn't necessarily make the sound louder, right? But in a hearing aid, well, if it didn't make the sound louder, what would be the point, right? Because it's a person with hard hearing, so you're trying to increase the volume, increase the vibrations, exaggerate them, right? So that his ear can pick up. All right. And I really love sound, by the way. I mean, music, yes, but sound as well, not just limited to music. I love everything about sound. That's another thing that you guys can know about me. All right, number 39. Let me scroll down because I can no longer see it. Ooh. Okay, I already said that. Oh, where's my? Here it is. All right, number 39. This is false teeth, which is dientes falsos, or dentures, dentaduras. So dentures or false teeth are synthetic replacements for missing natural teeth. Some dentures are designed to replace a few missing teeth. Other types of dentures replace all of your teeth, gums, and surrounding tissues. Oh, I just said it wrong. I tried to correct myself and I said it wrong. Surrounding tissues. Tooth decay, gum disease, and facial injuries can lead to tooth loss. Depending on how many teeth are lost, dentures may be necessary. When teeth are missing, facial muscles can sag over time. Dentures are designed to help fill out your facial profile and improve your appearance. They also make it easier to eat, chew, and speak regularly. Now, the rest of the definition, I thought would help you guys. This is definitely gonna help me because even though I kind of know about this stuff, I really don't. All right, and I mean dentures. So this definition was nice enough to include the different types of dentures, the common types. So there are complete full dentures. These are for patients who are missing all of their teeth. There are partial removable dentures for patients who have some missing teeth or those who prefer a removable option. There are partial fixed dentures that are for patients who are missing some teeth and those who prefer a non-removable option. And there are implant retained dentures. Retained dentures are for patients who need added retention due to bone loss. Implant dentures provide an anchorage for the teeth to connect to when they are in the mouth. However, they must be removed for cleaning immediately the same day. Dentures are for patients who want their teeth extracted and dentures installed the same day. So immediate same day dentures. Sorry, I read that wrong. So there you go. Those are the different types of dentures. I think that's some good information. Definitely an insight for me. I hope I never had to use dentures. Number 40. Dental braces. Number 40 is dental braces, and this is frenillos dentales. And thank you for Fabiola for this one. I didn't know that, but you can also call them orthodoncia, which orthodoncia translates to orthodontics, which is braces and retainers and all of the thing they do to fix your smile, right? So let me tell you what dental braces are. Dental braces are wire-based appliances that orthodontists use to correct crowded and misaligned teeth or jaws. Many people who need dental braces get them during their early teenage years, but adults can also benefit from wearing braces. The goal of dental braces is to properly align your teeth and jaws to produce an even bite and pleasing smile. Alright, I'm pretty sure we are all familiar with what braces are, but if you are not, they are like the definition describes, some wire apparatus device that goes into your teeth, and they go into your teeth with the hopes of being able to realign them into a way that you need to for them to be realigned, or for a way that you want for them to be realigned, right? Maybe you have a crooked smile, maybe you have a teeth like mine. I remember when I was a little kid, there was this girl who used to call me a vampire because she said I had my one vampire teeth, but this teeth is crooked because when I was a child I pulled it out. So yes, I need braces on all of my teeth. Look at this. It's a $100 million smile right there. So yeah, those are like the little metal things that they put, and they have to like either squeeze them together every month or every year. I'm not sure. Well, I don't think every year. It should be before that, because I know people that have had braces and have done this to them, but I've never done it myself and I am not that familiar with. But just know that there are those apparatus that are used to fix teeth. All right, not to be confused with retainers, which retainers are also orthodontics, which I will describe now. All right, so retainer, retenedor in Spanish, and retainers are pieces of plastic or metal. They are custom made for each person. No two retainers are the same. They're made to match the shape of your mouth and the alignment of your teeth. There are two general kinds of retainers. Removable, this can be put in and taken out daily by your child. They can be wire retainers made of wire or plastic-like material, or clear retainers, transparent trays made of plastic-like material. They can be fixed. These are made of thin, custom-fitted wire that is bonded to the tongue side of your child's upper and or lower teeth. My wife used to have a retainer when I met her. It was a fixed retainer, and I think she had it on for like 3 years. They took it off of her and she's never needed anything else again. So the retainers, like it says, they are just to make sure that the alignment of the teeth done by the braces, right, it will not be undone. In case of my wife, I don't know if there are other uses for retainers, but just know that they are there. They are for the most part used after the braces to make sure that the teeth don't go back into their natural form that they were in before, right? Or alignment, I should say. Okay, and number 42, we have reached the end of this list. Number 42 is shrapnel, and this is metralla. So shrapnel are fragments of a bomb, shell, or other object thrown out by an explosion. So shrapnel, for example, you remember those grenades, those grenades that have like little square things that look like a lot of square things that look like a loaf of bread that was cut to put some cheese in there. It looks like that, the usual green ones with those little fragments, right? Well, they were designed like that for shrapnel. they were designed like that. Those little pieces are not just for decoration or to make that grenade look good. Those little pieces, once a grenade explodes, are made so they can, they can divide, and all of those fragments could hit everyone that is unfortunately in its path, right? So shrapnel is not limited to things like, for example, what the grenade has, that is shrapnel. But for example, if you go ahead and put like um, let's say a grenade or a bomb, and then you put like uh, rocks on top of it, and then those rocks just fly out and hit everybody and kill everybody, that's shrapnel too. So anything, any object that gets thrown out, like any pieces, right, fragments or anything that gets thrown out by an explosion, that is shrapnel. All right, and my one advice to you is, remember, if you ever find yourself in need of having to throw a live grenade, always seek cover to protect you from shrapnel. All right, you heard that here. That is the most helpful information and comment that you will ever get from Interpret Your World. All right, so I hope you guys never have to use it, but now you know. So that is going to be pretty much it for me today. And remember, guys, that if you have 2 years of experience in medical interpretation, you live in the United States, Mexico, or Costa Rica, and you are looking for employment in either VRI or OPI, go ahead and send us an email, interpretyourworld@gmail.com, and we will give you the details. By the way, this is a third-party company. This is a company that I work for, not my company. So just keep that in mind. Good company, good company. If not, I wouldn't be here, all right? So please leave your questions on the comments, and I will answer some of them on the next session. And if anything is time sensitive, let me know. That way I can get to it before any of the rest of the questions, right? And also remember that I'll be here every Monday through Friday after work. Remember that we love all of our Patreons. We love everyone that has bottles of coffee. We love all of our subs. We love all of our viewers, and we love you that is watching the end of this video. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe the video if you haven't done so for much more content. And don't forget to share. Happy interpreting. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Unwind Sessions. Make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. And if you learned something new today, it'd be great if you left us a review. You can also visit us on patreon.com/interpretyourworld or visit our website, interpretyourworld.com. Unwind Sessions.
If you like this video, don't forget to smash that like button. Also, share this video with other beginner interpreters or anyone who can benefit from this information. Thanks for watching!